You
So my hair
do.
is a little, that's okay.
Oh, your hair looks awesome. You look absolutely beautiful.
Thanks.
You do. All right, hang on. Let me pause that one. All right, now we're official.
Okay.
Okay. You just had a follow-up
Mm-hmm.
hypnosis session. I didn't even ask you, how long do you think you were under?
An hour?
Very good.
An
The
hour.
clients have been so good with the time lately.
Mm-hmm.
That was about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You went under so fast. That was really fun. So you came because you were having, here we can take the shungite. You were having an issue with, tell everybody what you were having an issue with.
Hormone balance.
Yes.
Thinking that it was my sleep, thinking that my sleep was being interrupted
And that's been going on for quite some time now.
since 2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'll
But you were
be
having sleep issues last year too, or you were telling me sometimes you were
last
before.
summer.
That's
And
right.
I was able to address that with Chinese herbs with
Yeah.
a custom made formula for myself.
Yeah. And that's really
And that
helpful.
helped.
Yeah.
So I got that formula, but I still wanted to understand why there was some waking up and there was this nerve issue going on with my leg,
Yeah.
feeling restless. So I was wanting to get to the bottom to try to pull the pieces together to understand what is the root cause of it.
Yeah. And we found out right away. It came up right away.
Mm-hmm.
You were in a bed. You were kind of, it was interesting because it felt to me like you were starting to come out of your body in the middle of that childbirth. You immediately came into your back labor,
Mm.
back pain.
It was there already waiting.
It was, and it was so accessible to you.
Yeah, it was totally there waiting.
You were giving birth to Adrian. Is that her name? Adrian?
Yeah.
Yes, Adrian.
She's
And
so sweet.
she was having a hard time coming out.
Yeah, she was head first, but she had broad shoulders like her dad. And her shoulders, and I could feel her wiggling and trying to move out and trying to like go to the left, go to the right. And she was getting frustrated, and I was getting frustrated. So we were having to really work together to get her out. And in the meantime, I got ripped up.
Yeah.
There's blood and whatnot.
And you died in childbirth.
Yep.
But your purpose of that life
I
was
tumbled out of there. I tumbled out, and purpose was to really to leave my husband to teach him unconditional love. I left him with a little baby girl.
With a baby girl who was an angel, really.
And he had no choice. He had to be present for her because he was not present for
present
me.
for you. He wasn't anywhere around.
So
yeah, I didn't even have you look in the eyes of Bonnie, your poor little sort of aide midwife doula who was having such a hard time.
I couldn't look into her eyes because she felt so awkward in her role.
Oh, she was struggling.
And it was driving me crazy. And I realized I was alone on an island. Even though she was there in body, I didn't really feel like she was fully grounded and present for me.
No, she wasn't. She couldn't be.
So
she couldn't be. But that was the situation you chose in that life because you were the messenger of love. Okay. Really. Okay. You were a messenger of love, and you chose that. Mm-hmm. And patience, and et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was such a powerful session. You saw your parents, Marilyn and Tom. I love them.
They held the they were the gatekeepers.
They are. They're awesome.
Yeah.
So Eileen is a licensed massage therapist, and she's an amazing healer. And she and I have known each other for years, and we've been trading with each other for years, massage and body work and all kinds of wonderful healing. And she's a wonderful awakener. You help so many, and you have for a long time. Your parents crossed over and have been a long time ago and have been very present in your life. Mm-hmm. And every single time Eileen and I have had a trade, her mom comes in. Your mom's so funny. Mm-hmm. Yeah, her parents are loud and they're hilarious and they're great guys.
And they had great sense of humor when they were in their bodies as well.
Yeah, they're hilarious and so you hear them. They're amazing. They show their presence.
Yeah,
they're very present. They're awesome and they guide you beautifully.
Right. And so before my mom left her body, we had deep discussions about how our relationship would continue once she left her body and came to the other side. So she was adamant about our relationship continuing, and we needed to figure out how we were going to reframe it and how it was going to work out.
Yeah.
And she's like, no matter what, I will always be there for you. So they're
And she
there,
is.
and she is.
She's
So-
always there for. I see her sitting on a park bench in the other side, and she's just hanging out. I always see her with her legs crossed, her arms crossed over her, and she's just sitting there, and she
Yeah.
just throws the stuff out, and she swears, and she's
Yeah.
she's loud, and she laughs like these big guffaws. Ha! She knows that.
She was buried in a Tommy Bahama dress, and her tombstone or her gravestone says Marylinnaissance. So she
I didn't know
really,
that.
yeah. And at her
I did not know
at
that.
her funeral or her memorial, whatever, in the church, she wanted a New Orleans jazz band to play "When the Saints Go Marching In." So her, she really wanted to be the center of attention. Oh, and then there was a 2-day wake. So we had a lot of people telling
She's
stories
so funny. I can
while
hear her
she was
laughing
in an
right
open
now.
casket in the living room.
I hear her saying this was a joke on all of you.
Yeah, touche, Marilyn.
I hear her going, this was a joke on all of you. Wasn't that funny?
Uh-huh.
She's like, that was a good show. She likes a good show.
She does. She also likes to be at the center of it too.
She does. She's funny. She's a great guide.
Yeah.
So yeah, you saw life as royalty in Italy. That was powerful. That was showing you you are loved always. How loved you are.
Totally adored.
Totally loved. Totally adored. And then you were seeing what chakras needed to be opened up: the throat, the solar plexus, the root. And your hormones are being balanced now as we speak. You use a lot of color frequency on your body, and you're healing that left side, that hip, and the nervous system, and all of that from that childbirth.
It's interesting. It was really very defined that progesterone was with gold.
Yeah.
And estrogen was with white, bright white.
Yeah. Well, progesterone is the sticker hormone. When we have a fertilized egg in the uterus, we need progesterone to stick it to the uterine lining. It's an action hormone. Estrogen is more of the receiving hormone, really, and progesterone's really it's the action hormone. And so the solar plexus chakra is the action chakra.
Okay.
So that makes sense to me when you said that. I was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't even have put that there. I have to focus on that for myself too. The progesterone and the solar plexus, because that feels true for me. And then you wanted to put helichrysum in there and oat straw. That's interesting too. Yeah, the oat straw was interesting. It's the herb for progesterone.
I need to read about that because that kept coming to me, and I was thinking wheat and a field of gold.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I love that. No, it was great information. So how do you feel?
I feel alert. I feel light.
You look a lot more rooted. You were looking for that rooted, being the root light wherever you go, and not needing to speak from the ego so much, like we all get caught up in, and more of holding the light and just being. And that was the main, I felt like that was the main theme for your session was just be, allow and love yourself and trust that this is all what it's supposed to be. Wherever you go, just being is enough, more than enough. You don't have to add everything all the time.
Yeah, and my vision feels acute. Not just my eye vision, but my other sense, the higher chakra. My crown chakra feels very sharp.
Yes, it looks that way. What I'm getting through right now is to share with everybody who's watching this. What is it like for you to be a light worker, to be awake, to be conscious with, and you've been in this business for a long, you've been in the business literally of being a light worker since you're a hands-on healer. What is it like for you as everything is shifting now to be that light amongst so many that are not awake yet? How has that been for you? Because so many people are frustrated and they come to me going, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this, be around people. And
it's, well, first of all, I will say that it's a practice. It's not something that comes automatic. It absolutely requires an abundance of self-care.
Yeah.
Drinking a lot of water, and it's being patient with yourself, because it's not automatic. It takes patience, and it takes a lot of self-love, a lot of self-love,
Yeah.
and tapping into that little, frightened child that you have of yours that gets scared, and it's like, oh my gosh, will this happen to me? Because I work with cancer patients and I work in a hospital setting, and it's like, people have said to me, I don't know how you can do what you do. I mean, that would freak me out, because they're afraid
Yeah.
that it'll happen to them. So yes, there is some fear, but you got to tap into that fear and say hello to it, and say, and take care of that little child, because it's the child that's afraid of what's going to happen, potentially happen. It's the
Sure.
fear. And there is something else too that I had in mind that you were, and I just need to come to. It escaped me, but there's something more that I wanted to say about it. And that is that, so I was thinking about this when I was working with all the patients this last week. Oh, I thought about this. And this is the craziest little survival technique,
Sharon.
but it's not remembering their names.
Oh yeah.
I like,
I know that.
I realized that this is what I do, is I do not remember their names. And it's not like a go away and I don't want to ever see you again type of thing, but it's a disconnecting, realizing you're showing up for them for that 20 minutes in the hospital. And then when I leave that door, I shut the door, and subconsciously their name goes away.
It's boundaries, Eileen. It's boundaries.
It
But
is, and it
boundaries
isn't.
is self-love.
It is, and I don't like to put boundaries. I don't like to use that word, because I feel like it separates me from them, because when I'm with them, we are one.
Sure.
And my hands are on them. Their feet are my feet.
Yeah.
And so the lines are blurred. So I don't like to use the word boundaries.
Because that feels like a defense word to you.
It does.
Yeah.
Right. But when I close that door, I forget their names, and I don't remember.
That's amazing.
And I realize it's my way of taking care of myself.
That's so wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, it came to me the other day, and I didn't know that I was doing it until I'm doing it. And I do it in my other practice, not in my own personal business, but I work also in a corporate setting.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of people that circulate through my room.
Yeah.
I don't remember their names either.
When you say that, it's interesting, because I meet probably, when I'm teaching classes, wherever I'm at, I probably meet anywhere from 5 to 10 new people a day. And it's been that way for a long time now. And and I feel very connected to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a connector. That's what I do. But I have a very challenging time with names, because there's an energy about people that are coming through. There's a similar energy. People come through, and they're coming to me because they have a need.
Right.
And I'll look at people more like with a frequency. There's a feeling about them. I'm very feeling oriented. I feel like you are also very feeling oriented as well.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the name puts more of a linear, more of a left brain aspect to it. And I'm more about feeling people. I also don't have the strongest physical vision, so I see auric fields more, and they'll actually come to me with more of a feeling and a color, and I'll actually associate that with them more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do that too. It's interesting when you said that. I was like, oh, I do. It's just automatic. But I didn't think of it that way in a technique of, it's like almost like a practice.
It is a practice. I mean, and so once you leave, you leave.
Yes.
I take all of myself and all of, I collect all of my energy and everything, and I leave that hospital.
The word completion comes in then, actually. It's a completion, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It is an energetic technique of almost like a self-healing technique. There's a completion to it. That's what I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way to keep yourself always flowing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no attachments.
Yeah. The other thing, and I don't do this enough, but it can be very helpful, is to get with trees.
Oh, yeah.
And put your hands on trees and give up whatever you might be holding on to.
Yeah.
And take maybe like 5 to 7 minutes and just put your hands on a tree and let the energy of that tree move through you.
Yep.
And just let it go into the earth.
So
but
powerful.
You have to take the time to do it.
You have to.
It's
like
not automatic.
I can't see that, but there's that Doug fir right outside the window.
Keep looking at it.
I go out there every single night, and I'm with that Doug fir and those little cedar woods out there. But I do the tree thing every day. I had to learn that a long time ago because I wasn't very rooted, and that helped me to get really rooted. Yeah, everybody needs to be with trees. Everybody does, especially light workers.
So if you're going to go from one client to another, and you go boom, boom, and you're moving, you as a practitioner have to figure out what your methods are to ground yourself between your clients.
Yep.
You have to figure that out.
You do. And if you kick it with the tree essential oils.
Right. And if you don't, you will burn out.
You will. You will burn out. That's why I tell people to walk barefoot out in the grass. I walk barefoot every day. Walk barefoot in the grass, get into the earth, get into soil. Even take a little foot bath in between, drink a bunch of water, something that's going to flush and ground and clear, or light a candle and put your finger over the flame or stare at the flame so that you're releasing whatever it is from one client to the next. That's really good. That's super good. That's really good. That's so helpful. Because you have a long time experience of doing healing work. You've been doing healing work for a long time.
Yeah.
You have been. Yes, we're the wise women. We've been doing this a long time. So would you recommend this quantum hypnosis to
Absolutely.
others?
Absolutely.
Why? What would you?
So I would recommend it because it is such a powerful method of healing yourself. And what people don't realize is self-healing, to me, it's like little ripples on the shore. And these little ripples on your own inner shoreline, your own inner landscape, they ultimately in time have such a big impact on how you are outside of your world, on the outside. And it does happen. You just have to be patient. But the impact of this work is so beautiful. It's subtle. It's not obvious. It's very subtle, first of all. So you have to check your expectations at the door and let yourself be open to it. And then once you receive, the consequence of receiving opens you up to so much more in your relationships and in your conflict and how you deal with conflict and resolution in your relationships. And it's powerful. It's super, super powerful. And so this is my follow-up. I've had...
Yeah, your first session, you were one of my test people. You were one of my training people, and it was so powerful for you.
Yeah.
It was life-changing.
It was. And like I said, those little ripples, and now I see those trees through the forest, and how that impact was for me. I have had a lot of changes since that first session.
Yeah, that was profound.
I've shifted a lot of like what I eat and how I am. I've also been less social.
Yeah.
I've been less social.
Isn't that interesting?
I'm really choosing to rein in my energy and to preserve it for myself, my healing, and also to, preserve it for my clients. So I've been less social, and that's felt really good for me. It's so funny. There's this whole trend going on that's in social media. It's called JOMO, Joy of Missing Out.
I don't know about this.
I know.
You guys know about JOMO?
Well, it's connected to FOMO, fear of missing out. It's
okay.
the opposite. And I saw it on Facebook this past week.
Okay.
And I was like, my whole body said yes. Like I wrote a note, I said resonating. Because joy of missing out and the whole intention of JOMO is for self-care.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Yep.
I get it.
Of course.
I think when you're really, really social and you're out there a lot, which I have been in the past, you're throwing your energy out. You're throwing your energy out. And people are going to gravitate towards you as well as you continue to do this work. And if you get quantum hypnosis healing, you're going to be more magnetic. You're going to be more light filled. And so people are they're going to want to grab from you. And so you'll realize when you're more social, they'll be like, oh, give me, tell me. And then, there's a risk of depletion. So
that's been my experience
that's something to be mindful about when you continue to do this work or when you first started.
Yep. So I've had the exact same experience. I used to be a social bug, and my work is so social. I teach, I do this, and I meet so many new people. I'm not hanging out with a whole lot of people. I'm hanging out with the trees. Yeah. I'm hanging out with the animals. I'm hanging out with you. I'm hanging out with other light workers. I don't want to, because all these people are just trying to take. And it's like, no, you need to work on yourself. You need to find the light within you. You need to be quiet. You need to take care of yourself. You need to find the joy within. Joy is within you.
Well, and you need to recommend a daily allowance of the nature.
Yeah.
We totally do.
We do.
So, and I think for, for light workers and for healers, if you are going to carry on with this work, and if you're totally serious about it, then you absolutely have to do your own self-healing. And we all can't do it on our own.
We need witness.
That's why I've gone to Sonia to help me with getting that. And plus, the other thing is that's helped me with this is accountability and working with you.
Yeah.
And I so appreciate how you follow up with me.
Thank you.
And how I really feel that you care and that you love me.
I do.
So
I do care about you, and I do love you completely. Yeah. Yay.
Enough said.
Wonderful. That's so awesome. All right. So if you want a quantum hypnosis session with me, go to my website. It's down below, soniawilderwellness.com. Thank you, Eileen. I would recommend that you go see her, but she's booked.
Well, you can
Are you taking more clients? Where do they find you?
You can find me at address or phone number.
Do you have a website?
Yes, I do.
Let's put your website. It's okay.
See how good I am.
So, and I'll put it below. I know. See, I'm used to doing this, and you're not, because you have so many. You're so accessible with the corporation.
Yeah.
Your website is
EileenMassage.com.
I'll put it down below.
And it's EILEEN. So you can get my information from there, and I'm located in Southwest Portland.
Yep. Very good. Not far from me. Yay. Wonderful. That's so good.